I'm literally sweating in Texas, but let's talk about some of the free and cheap things you can do on a budget this fall. Hey friends, I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here, and one of the things that I love to do is take the most advantage of free and cheap things that you can do to enjoy your life. Just because you're on a budget, or maybe you are allocating the money in your budget to things like paying off debt or saving up for something, doesn't mean that you have to live a life just staring at the walls. There are a ton of free and fun things that you can do, especially this season in the fall, and ways that you can live a full, fun life while still meeting your money goals. So let's go through some fun, wallet-friendly activities that you can do on a dime. The first is to host a potluck. I absolutely love having people over instead of going out. It always costs a little bit less, and you can double down on the savings if you are willing to do a potluck instead of providing the entire meal. And people don't get that many dinner invitations nowadays and are always more than happy to come with a dish or a dessert or something like that. And it can be just a really lovely, fun time. Next, go apple picking. Now, this is not my favorite of fall activities. It feels a little too much like manual labor for me, but it can be fun. A lot of people enjoy it. Obviously, you get some super fresh apples, unlike the kind where you find in the grocery store. Well, sometimes those have been in trucks and barrels and everything like that for months. So a crisp, fresh apple that you picked right off of the vine, I can see how that would be a good time. Next, go to a pumpkin patch. Now, even if you didn't grow up around these, there's something incredibly nostalgic about going to a pumpkin patch, and it can be an excellent place to take fall photos, which is something that I really love to do as an Instagram girly. Also, just picking out a pumpkin for you to either set out, carve, roast pumpkin seeds from, or bake with is really fun. Often, pumpkin patches are completely free. Sometimes they cost about $5 or so, but you can bring along some food and drinks, make a picnic family day out of it, and make sure that you pick like the absolute perfect pumpkin. It was something I really enjoyed as a kid. Next, try a corn maze. There are a lot of free ones, or there are also a lot of charity ones in my area that I always see go up. You get to help a good cause and find your way through a corn maze. There is a trick. It's like the right hand on the wall thing. It's just a little bit spooky and a lot of fun. Just wear comfortable shoes. Next, embrace sweater weather and do a wardrobe changeover or shake-up. So if you're in a cooler climate, unlike now where it's still 100 degrees in Texas, go ahead and bring out your warm clothes and do a quick audit through everything, figure out what you actually need, what needs to kind of go away. And I've got some guides online on how to sell your old stuff. I actually sold a small box of fall decor that I pulled out and was like, I'm not gonna use these this year. And also I brought some stuff to my local Play-Dohs and listed a few things on Poshmark and Mercari to get a little bit of money back from stuff that has just been sitting here for the past year, and for me to be able to invest into new fun fall things. I have guides on how to sell your clothes online down below. Next, try making a pumpkin spice latte at home. Personally, I've never liked PSLs or really any like cinnamon or pumpkin flavored beverages, but I know so many people who absolutely love them, and honestly, Jacob is kind of a fall girly, and he has the little pumpkin spice seasoning. You can actually buy it from the grocery store. It's not that expensive. You can add it to several different types of coffees, iced or hot, and just kind of experience, be your own barista. And you'll save a little bit of money that way. I've also heard that you can make it with real pumpkin, which sounds messy, but I believe it. Next, go to a craft fair. Now, first off, and this might not be everywhere, but every craft fair I've gone to that required you to pay admission was just full of Hunbots and people selling multi-level marketing products, but there are always craft fairs that don't have an admission that you can go to, and I've always found that those are the best ones because they're charging the people who are going less, and those savings get passed on to you. Even if you don't buy anything, it's super fun to browse, see people's handmade wares, and see what local artisans are up to. You can support them by giving them a compliment or getting some ideas to DIY things yourself. Next, go for a walk or a hike outside. Finally, hopefully soon, the weather will cool off and it will be so nice to stroll outside in the crisp autumn air, maybe take a dog with you, and just enjoy not being sweltering for once. This one would love to go for a walk. Next, look up if there are any outdoor movie theaters in your area. You can pack a blanket and a thermos and some snacks and go enjoy a movie on the lawn in your community, or maybe even something live action. Make sure to check your city's community calendar for these types of things. They often will do the blow-ups. My community likes to do these in the summer at the pool. Getting to watch The Little Mermaid in a pool, one of the top experiences of my life for like under $5. 100%. And it's still hot enough to do that here. Next, go check out some books at your local library. I have always had a passion for reading and I love my local library. I honestly don't get there that often unless they're having an event. I am more of an e-reader these days, but it is a 100% free activity. Go find a book, cozy up, enjoy. They also have movies and magazines and all sorts of stuff. Absolutely check out what your local library offers. Next, do some baking, especially with pumpkins. So I said I wasn't a PSL girl, but I do love fresh roasted pumpkin seeds. It is the best. Some pumpkin pie, chocolate chip cookies, baked goods. It's finally going to be not too hot to turn on your oven. And I am so looking forward to chili and just all the baked things. I'm getting super excited. Next, you could try going to a farmer's market. In my community, they're out there every Saturday morning where it's not that hot, and in the fall, it's just going to get even better. Enjoy petting some dogs. We always bring our dogs out there, tasting a few yummy treats, and also seeing what local artisans have up. I love it when the potters are out there. They have the coolest stuff. Next, bonfires are also a thing in many communities. See if your community is hosting one. They can be super fun to go to, very cozy. If you're more of an inside person, host a Halloween movie marathon for your friends. And whether you are a horror person or like a Disney person, there is a Halloween movie to suit everyone's needs. Maybe invite people over in like their coziest comfy clothes and pajamas. Have a hot chocolate bar and some junk food out, and everybody can curl up and just chill. Sounds like a really lovely night to me. Next, if you are a football person, which I am not, but I am in the heart of SEC territory, Aggie land, and we just had our very first football game this past weekend, host a football watching party or a tailgate. And even if you don't particularly like the game, I do like snacks, so there's something for everyone there. Next, you could DIY your Halloween costume. There are a ton of amazing ideas on Pinterest. You can absolutely do stuff from your own closet. And one of my favorite tips is just searching by like brown hair Halloween costumes so that I don't have to don a wig because I refuse to put on a wig. Next, you can learn a new soup, stew, or crock-pot recipe. I actually have a bunch over on budgetgirl.com. You could learn how to make my cheap and easy chicken tortilla soup or 5-can taco soup, which has forever been a favorite on the Budget Girl channel, and I know a lot of you guys have ended up making that. It is a super affordable, super filling, and yummy recipe that I highly encourage you to try. And the leftovers make great lunches. Next, you could try out some camping for a weekend or even a night. A lot of colleges or community colleges have checkout programs. If you don't have your own camping gear, it can be a little expensive to get into, or maybe some of your friends have some camping gear you can use. It can be really nice to get out into nature for a night, look at the stars, roast some marshmallows. Just wait until it's a little cooler, because it's too hot to be outside right now. If you don't like to walk without kind of a mission in place, I highly encourage a walk to go crunch or find some pretty autumn leaves once those start to drop. You can pick up a couple or try to match a certain stream of colors, especially with kids. That can be a really fun thing to do. You could also host a pumpkin carving contest. Just make sure to get some plastic drop cloths. One of Jacob and I's first dates like 6 years ago was to a local free pumpkin carving contest, and we actually won first and second place. I looked up some easy printable templates that you could use, which we were allowed to do for this, and it was really fun. We won Target gift cards. Next, with the leaves that you picked up on your fall walk, you could make some autumn DIYs. Make a centerpiece for your dining room table or coffee table, grab a hot glue gun, make yourself a wreath. There are a lot of ideas on Pinterest that are better than that. I do think candle carving and drawing on is a DIY I've seen a lot recently, and I think that could be really fun. Next, you could visit a farm or a petting zoo. A lot of those will be out and about, especially in community parks this fall. It's really nice to pet a baby goat or a llama and just kind of experience the cuteness. Next, I highly encourage a fall themed photo shoot. The ones with like the hollowed out pumpkin heads, either plastic or real, are absolutely all over my feed, and I find them hilarious, even though it's probably very sticky. You could do the sheets from the thrift store and be ghosts. You can set up a tripod and shoot your own photos, and it makes a really fun memory and some really hilarious photos. I really want to put ghost costumes on my dogs and shoot fall pictures. If they will cooperate, stay tuned for that. Next, go thrifting alone or with some friends. There are some really fun things at thrift stores, either that you can DIY, you can find some new stuff for your fall wardrobe or for your Halloween costume. I really enjoy kind of treasure hunting like that. Now, you don't always find something. Today we went thrifting, we found nothing, but that's okay. The hunt makes, when you actually find something good, all the sweeter. Next, don't forget to start preparing for Thanksgiving and other holiday big meals and gatherings now. You could start trying recipes or check out my post on how to save on holiday dinners at budgetgirl.com. Next, you could take up a somewhat cheap and cozy hobby like knitting, cross-stitching, or embroidery. You can find a lot of the supplies at craft stores or at thrift stores, and it's the perfect thing to stay inside and just do while you're watching TV this fall. And if you're better at it than me, you might actually end up making something functional. Never quite got there. You can also make sure to get a head start on your Christmas shopping, making list, anything like that. Jacob actually just started making vanilla, homemade vanilla. It's like a big bottle of vodka, and we ordered some vanilla beans, so he's gonna give away little bottles of vanilla to his and our coworkers this Christmas, and I think it's just gonna be an absolutely lovely treat and some really yummy vanilla that is real and not like the imitation flavored. There are a ton of holiday things that you can DIY, especially if you have the time, that are not expensive but are really lovely gifts. Just gotta get started early. Next, check on the progress of your New Year's goals. I have my little phone lock screen one that I've been steadily working through this year, and we're getting into the third quarter here, so I have to get up on some of them. Next, make a simmer pot or a candle or some other smell blend to make your home smell a little bit better like fall, and that can be a really fun thing to do. Pinterest for recipes. I don't have any of those. Next, do some decluttering. I know that doesn't sound like necessarily a fun fall thing, but I really enjoy clearing out my home of things that stress me out, can donate them, and also kind of embracing the cozy hominess that comes from, in part, not being overwhelmed with your stuff. I never regret decluttering stuff, ever in my life. Also in the home vein, embrace the tradition of hygge. It's a Norwegian custom. I read a book on it last year. Lighting your favorite candles, reading by a fire, snuggling under a blanket, essentially making your home into like a cozy space. A lot of the things in this list can contribute to that. Next, see if there are any big festivals in your area, like for instance, celebrating Oktoberfest. I think there's one a couple of hours from here, and we're definitely considering it. There's also a Renaissance festival not too far from here that we're planning on participating in. That is not necessarily a cheap thing to do, but it is a lot of fun. Next, you can try making apple cider or visit your local brewery or winery if you're not as interested in crafting your own drinks. All these are fun things to do as things get a little bit cooler, and I think you'll really enjoy them. Next, visit your local national park. Did you know that many national parks are free on Veterans Day, whether or not you are a veteran? You can look up online which national park is closest to you and go check it out. You can also sometimes get a national park pass from your local library or from your Chamber of Commerce to go visit for free. If there is a rainy day upcoming in your fall, which I'm sure there will be, have a reading or a puzzle or a baking day. Embrace and plan for the kind of lower energy times and just kind of relax. I would love to know what your favorite low cost or free fall activities are. Did I hit any of them that you want to try for a while? All right, so good to see you guys. I will catch you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.